So we're going to be talking about my scratch start TIG setup. I get a bunch of messages about this on YouTube, and I just figured I'd put together a video for y'all about it, and that's what we're going to do. First off, what you're going to need in order to run DC TIG. You're going to need a DC capable stick welder. Infinite adjustment is definitely a huge plus, so that means that, you know, one of those AC/DC Lincoln tombstones, really not the greatest welder for this because of the tapped amperage. Really anything with the tapped amperage, not the best choice. Simply because if you start at this notch and it's way too cold, you know, then you'll turn it up one notch and you're up like 15 amps and it's going to be way too hot. And theoretically it works, but practically just not a good idea. So you'll want something you can set the DC electrode negative and something that has infinite adjustment. What can and can't you weld with scratch start TIG? You can do steel, you can do stainless steel, you can't do aluminum. I'm sure there's all sorts of different alloys out there that you can, maybe can't do, I don't know, but for most people it's just those three metals. You can do two of them, that's not too bad. But the limitations of it, like I said, no aluminum and also no adjustability. And just like with stick welding, once you're welding, you're welding. You can't, you know, the only way to adjust your amperage is to stop welding, then go over to your welder, turn the dial on the front of it or the top of it, you know, whatever, and then start welding again. It's kind of a pain, especially when you're welding anything without perfect fit up or, you know, material that changes in thickness, like diamond tread steel, for instance. That's never fun. But yeah, so with that being said, let me show y'all my setup over here. Alright, yeah, so this is my setup over here. I guess we'll just start talking, you know, about the cylinder, work our way down to the torch. I can't really comment on how much this costs, simply because I don't really know, to be honest. It was actually a gift from a really friendly, you know, pipe fitter friend of mine. And, you know, I got various things like the gas hose, all the consumables. But, you know, as for the torch itself and the flow meter, that I can't comment on. And the cylinder either, I kind of traded for that. So anyway, you'll need a gas cylinder of pure argon gas. Not C25 like what you'd use for MIG or anything, just pure argon. And you're definitely going to want to get the largest cylinder you can find, simply because you'll run out less often, and when you do run out, then you know, the cost of gas per cubic foot is going to be way less with a large cylinder than it is with one of these tiny ones. Next thing you're going to need is a flow meter. Very common, you know, very affordable. These don't go for a whole lot, but they're very good. A lot of people use them. I highly recommend it. I haven't had any problems with mine. I'm going to skip this green gas line. We'll talk about that in a minute, and I'll come back to this power lug here too. You'll see why. The next thing you're going to need is obviously your TIG torch. This is a 17 series, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's pretty generic, you know. It's definitely a larger torch, but seeing that it's, you know, a larger torch and air cooled, it'll stay cooler than a smaller torch. And yeah, so once you have your flow meter and your torch with the attached red hose, mine's a 25 footer. That's a nice long torch. It's powered by a DC stick welder, so just clamp your stinger lead on there, and that's what powers the torch. Now this is very dangerous. You'll definitely want a rubber boot or something to cover that connection, like I don't have. Definitely don't run it without like I do. But yeah, so anyway, you'll need a gas hose to run from the flow meter to the power lug. Then you'll need the power lug. And on this end, you're going to need all sorts of torch consumables. Now the most common thing you'll need is tungsten. And among the most common kinds of tungsten is the 3/32 inch red tungsten. Slightly radioactive, but you know, no biggie. And now this is something that you can start off with getting from your local welding supply, but you really don't want to keep doing that. And that's simply because they are ridiculously expensive there. For instance, a 2-pack of these things at my local LWS, you know, local welding supply, actually costs more than a 10-pack of them off of eBay. So yeah, definitely don't buy a lot of these from your, you know, local supply. Next up is the collet and collet body. These are these two brass pieces, one of which seems to be permanently attached to my gas lens. Not entirely sure how that happened. But this is what diffuses the gas. Mine's dirty from, you know, contaminating more than a few tungstens here. And this is just the TIG torch cap. This is what sort of holds, you know, the tungsten in place. Now, in order to use the torch, you're first going to need it to be in one piece. You'll also want a real pair of TIG welding gloves. Not a lot here to say, but they're definitely thin. They're nice and thin, so, you know, you have a lot of dexterity when you wear them. They protect you from some heat, you know. And this is just what a lot of people wear for obvious reasons. And you also need some filler wire here. This is ER70S2, I believe. Really standard kind of mild steel filler. It has a copper coating, that's why it's that color. And that's 16th inch diameter filler. Yeah, I hope this video helped somebody out. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more. And get this all set up. Alright YouTube, so I've got this brand new flow meter hooked up and I'm about to open this thing for the first time ever, so here we go. Alright, sweet. Now let's come over here to this nice new TIG torch and we're going to open this little hand control thing here. Now we're gonna turn this until it reads about 11 CFH because that's what Miller recommends. It's good. Alright, now I'll close this. And it's hissing. Shoot, I got a leak. Hang on. Alright, now I still have to build a cart for this fine stick mate here. So we're using the poor old Hobart 187 that I haven't used in like a month to hold the gas, and over here to hold all the extra hose. So it's working. It's pretty dang redneck, but it is working. So anyway, I just got this thing set to about 11 CFH as Miller recommends on their website. I hope that's right. Now we're going to take our electrode holder and clamp it over that. Now something says there should be a boot over that, but I guess there's not, so we're gonna not set that on anything metal just in case. Now, let's see. We'll start off, I think that's about 100 amps on DC negative. Free up some of this hose. Alright, this is exciting, you guys. Well, here goes nothing. Okay, yeah, that was kind of spicy though. I should probably turn this down just a little bit. Okay, well, the welder now says it's just below 90 amps, but as history has shown us, the dial on that thing is probably not very accurate. I love the welder, it's easy to use, it was very affordable, it welds smooth as silk, but my one complaint is the dial on the front. It looks like it fell off a friggin' Tonka truck here, but alright, anyway, here we go, yeehaw! Man, this is kind of fun. No wonder people like it so much. Well, no, anyway, so I guess I'm going to try adding some filler metal here. Now, personally, I'm going to cut this in half just because it's what I'm used to. The only other place I've ever done TIG is at school, and there we're in pretty close quarters, so you have to cut your fill rods in half so you don't poke your neighbor's eyes out. So, yeah, like I said, it's pretty much just what I'm used to. Alright, so, bring this over here a little bit more. Here we go. Wish me luck. I'm liking it, even if that was way too hot. Alright, yeah, this thing welds smooth as, oh shoot, I'm not used to that, alright? I'm used to high frequency. Pretty good. Yeah, I'm used to, not really used to this, and like I said, that was way too hot, so I'm going to get up and just weld it down just a little bit. Wow, this is fun. Okay. Well guys, I'm going to practice this for a little while longer and see what else I can come up with, but yeah, that was TIG with a stick mate.